going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Viall Files. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, if that's the holiday you separate, or whatever holiday that you enjoyed. I hope it was wonderful. Hope you're staying safe, warm with your families. We have a great episode for you. Brendan joins us, and him and I discuss how I butcher his name often. We also have a surprise for Brendan. I'm guessing if you've been listening to this podcast, you can guess who it might be who pops in quickly to say hello to his boy. And it's a really fun conversation. And he shares, his experience on the show, and we have a very detailed and important discussion about turtlenecks. I hope that you will enjoy it. We'll get right to Brendan. If you have not yet checked out our Ask Nick episode this week, do that. If you love listening to people's relationships problems and stories, and it's the type of show that we learn a lot about ourselves and relationships from the stories that people share and the advice that is given. Don't forget to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Can't thank you enough for supporting this show. This year, it's been a really fun 2020 with you guys. I know 2020 hasn't been fun on its own, but it has been fun spending it with you guys, and I hope that you got as much enjoyment out of listening to this podcast as I have gotten out of recording it, and really can't thank you enough. So, as always, thank you for all the support you guys have given us this year. Big plans for the show next year, which is, next week. We'll kick off Matt James's recap. We got a fun guest lined up, and I won't spoil it because scheduling things happen, and it's not Sarah Silverman, but something great. But I think that's it. Thanks again, guys, for supporting the show. And without further ado, Brendan, thanks so much for joining us. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
We have so much to talk about. I can't wait to do it. But before we really get into it, I do have a surprise for you. Someone wanted to say hi and is just your biggest fan, so we're just going to let him pop in.
Okay,
he's,
let's do it.
I think, on a road trip right now somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, that's why he's on his phone.
Yeah, that's why he's on his phone.
There he is.
Wait,
I don't see him.
He's there. It's connecting to his audio. Hold on. There he goes.
Chrissy.
There he is. There's Justin.
Hey. Brendan, hey.
what's going on, man? How are you?
How's it going?
Wait,
I like the beard.
Thank you. We've gotten comparisons, right? Am I wrong in saying that in resemblance?
I wish.
How we no, I feel like we have.
Really? That's very flattering to me. I don't know who would have said that. Nobody no.
The internet's an interesting thing. I think we've gotten comparisons before, so it was obviously flattering for me as well.
Hey.
Oh, that is very flattering. You're such a handsome guy.
No.
I don't know who would have said that, but you're also, I got to tell you, hey Nick, hey Chrissy, sorry.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Justin.
No, this is your time, Justin. I don't want to
It's your
interrupt.
moment, man. It's your moment.
All right, guys, don't make it Oh, Jesus.
All right,
Whoa.
we can't die on
Whoa.
Yes, now.
Sorry, my brother's driving, and that was
Hey, buddy.
driving on a 1-lane. That was close. Sorry, I'm not driving myself. Wow, that was really scary. Well, that would have been, that would have been not a funny way to die, but
That would not have been good.
You would have gotten a lot of downloads.
I just met you and then you die right now. That would have been tragic. But
Well, if you're the last person I see, Brendan, not the worst thing.
yeah, I mean, take me into the afterlife, your last sight,
How are you doing? How are you feeling after? How long has it been since that exit? It was very. It was so impressive, by the way, how honest you were, and just how in touch you were with what you were feeling and how you were able to communicate that. I just found it so impressive.
Well, thank you. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was the beginning of September, so it's been a couple months now.
Okay.
Yeah, and haven't spoken with Tayshia since, and recently kind of reached out to her to congratulate her on the big engagement and everything. But yeah, it was I'm doing good. I'm obviously back
How
with
did
my
it
family.
feel?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel confident in the decision I made for sure, and stayed true to myself and how I felt in the moment. And in hindsight, I definitely I don't regret anything, but I'm still sad about it. Absolutely, still sad that that's the way it played out. And you know, it,
Sorry, Brendan. Where are you?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know.
Justin's in a car and he's like losing his moment with his biggest crush.
He's in upstate New York
Was it-
driving.
What?
Oh, there we go.
I bet. Oh, is that better? I was just wondering, Brendan, if you had had more time with her, like,
He's gonna be so upset.
That was like this slow motion.
So Brendan, I don't know if you've listened to our episodes with Justin, but
oh,
he's
sorry, if
like,
you had had more time with him to see how it progressed. It's remote.
There we go.
Fake freeze. That was a fake freeze.
Oh, he's calling.
All right. If it weren't on,
This is. He's call. Hey, buddy.
like he's so excited. So Brendan,
Hello?
like I don't,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know if you know, listen, but like we've did a bunch of episodes with Justin Long, and he is like your biggest fan, and he was
Okay.
like crushed, like.
Okay.
It was like
I-
so funny. So he just wanted to jump on and say hi because it was like
Okay.
he's like the biggest fan.
No, this is actually amazing. I haven't listened to any of the episodes, so I honestly had no idea,
Yeah.
not the slightest idea, but that's definitely flattering. For sure.
Everyone listening is gonna know Brendan.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone listening's gonna know. Like we even posted something on the Instagram that like when you left that like Justin Long is gonna need help. He loves you so much.
That hurts me
Well-
the most to disappoint him and break his heart.
No.
Attempt made during holiday travel.
That was amazing. even though the few words we said to each other will be with me forever. So
We thank Justin. Sorry, he had some technical difficulties. He's in upstate New York, in a remote area, so he just wanted to say hi, and he's a big fan of yours, Brendan.
well, that was amazing. That was definitely flattering. The last person I expected to pop up there. So
I think what he wanted to ask, and is that obviously time is limited in that world in general, right? You guys had even less time with Tayshia taking over for Claire. And with, for you, so much of your story obviously was about you haven't been married before and kind of coming into this world, which I got the impression it was pretty new for you. If you would have had more time with Tayshia, like say in the real world, or let's say this was just a much longer process, do you think you might have been able to come around and it was it about just the information you didn't have, or looking back now, having been able to process the experience, do you feel it's just more maybe Tayshia just wasn't your person as much as you might think she's great and all that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. As much as, obviously I love the show, and I love the idea of, okay, these 30-something guys going after this one beautiful woman. The concept of that, is great for the purposes of the show. But I feel like without a doubt, if I had had more time with Tayshia on the show, because obviously with Claire, it was 2 weeks with her there. And then Tayshia came on, and I legitimately only knew Tayshia for a month's time. But this is what I tell my family to this day, that if I were able to remove Tayshia from the desert Palm Springs and La Quinta bubble, and date her in the real world and find out about what type of food she loved, what she did for work, what her hobbies were. And of course, those things aren't necessarily vital to falling in love with a woman. but I was so, concerned with making the right decision and only doing this once, following a divorce and making sure this was exactly the right move for me. So, yeah, I feel like if I had more time and I could have removed Tayshia from that bubble and really see how our lives mesh together, I definitely felt like we could have dated and potentially more. But when you're protecting yourself and when you don't want to get hurt again, you do things that self-sabotage what could be an amazing thing. So I'm definitely think it could have played out differently if a few things had changed.
Interesting. Justin's calling. Hold on.
I love that it's making such an effort because he's so obsessed.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let him know that. I think I picked up on your question. He actually just answered that, and his answer, just so you know, is that he does think, regrettably, that if he had more time with her in the real world and it wasn't in the pressure of this environment, he definitely sees a possibility. We nailed his question. That's exactly what he wanted to know. And he said, obviously, you guys had such a great connection. And he also wants to point out that he absolutely loved that you had no idea who Neil Lane was.
Oh, not the slightest idea who he was. I saw this guy playing the piano, and I'm looking at Tayshia, like looking for someone to clue me in. And I'm like, can someone please help me out here? I have no idea who this is, and I know I should. And during the lie detector test date, that was a question that Tayshia asked, like, oh, do you know who Neil Lane is? I'm like, no. And then it rang true, that I was telling the truth. And until someone said this guy makes rings, then I had no idea who he was.
Hey, did you know this episode is brought to you by Fight Camp? That's right. Fight Camp brings the boxing gym right to your home with a mix of cardio and conditioning for a full body workout. Boxing is one of the best workouts you can have, and now you can do it from the comfort of your home. I think there's a lot of people out there who want to mix in some different type of workouts into their routine because they're tired of doing the same thing over and over. Well, Fight Camp has you covered. Fight Camp is made for beginners to experienced boxers who want to box from home. That's right, with new content being released weekly for easy to advance. It comes with all the gear you need to box at home, including freestanding punching bag, boxing gloves, quick hand wraps, and their unique punch tracking sensors that show your real-time progress and stats on any iOS device. It's great for kids. Fight Camp is one of the only home workouts that are safe for kids to do because there are no weights and no spinning wheels.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I don't have any kids, but pretty neat,
I don't know. If I'm stuck at home with a bunch of kids, I would want them to get all tired out with Fight Camp and then be able to pass out so I can have some time by myself.
I can't tell you how awesome boxing is for working out, and Fight Camp has you covered. Fight Camp is offering financing so you can pay over 24 months and get your new gym now. And Fight Camp offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just go to joinfightcamp.com/files, F-I-L-E-S. That's right. Give Fight Camp a try, and within 30 days, if you don't love it, send it back and get a refund. Fight Camp is the new way to work out at home. Make a change and join the community that teaches you the art of boxing while following the most intense workouts that are as quick as 15 minutes. To get free shipping on Fight Camp, just go to joinfightcamp.com/files. That's files, F-I-L-E-S, joinfightcamp.com/file. We live in a world where we have a hard time agreeing on things, but we can all agree that if we can have healthy, great skin, we would want that. Isn't that true? I feel like raise your hand if you agree with that. Well, Proactive, the #1 acne brand in America, is helping people accomplish great skin. So whether it's you're having maybe problems with your skin, or maybe you got some kiddos at home that are going through their pubescent stages of life, tough times, well, you can make those times a little easier by helping them get clearer skin. Have
you ever had acne as an adult, Nick?
I mean, I get the occasional pimple. I do enjoy popping a pimple, I'll say that much. We all have stresses in our life, from little to big stresses, and with all the stresses in life, acne shouldn't be one of them. No matter your type of breakout, Proactive has you covered. Did you know that pimples do not happen overnight? No, 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 no. Acne always appears to come out of nowhere right before a first date or a job interview. Never when we want it, but when is it ever great? The truth is, acne can start weeks in advance before it shows up and makes an appearance. No matter your type of breakup, Proactive has you covered. Proactive has 3 different systems designed for your skin. Proactive Solutions, the original system, is suitable for all skin types. Proactive Plus for sensitive skin types, and Proactive MD, prescription strength for stubborn breakouts. And right now is a great time to try Proactive. For our podcast listeners, you can get a very special offer by going to proactive.com/VIALL. Proactive subscribers will receive the Hydrating Dew as a free gift. That includes 4 hydro masks and the green tea moisturizer. You also get free shipping. Again, visit proactive.com/VIALL to take advantage of this special offer now. That's proactive.com/VIALL and subscribe to Clear Skin.
You should have just put Justin up to the microphone.
Did you hear him at all?
We could hear him talking to you. That's what I was saying. You should have.
I should have put it on
Oh, yeah, on
speaker.
the phone.
I should have put it on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
The best part of the whole thing was his slow-mo, like, if you had more, and I'm like, I know where you're going with this.
Well, how are you, Brendan? But also, Brendan, I just want to, off the bat, you probably don't know this. I've been butchering your name throughout this season of Brendan. In my defense, there was a different Brandon, and as I mentioned to Ben, I don't always enunciate my words, and Valentine's is a perfect example. I know it's Valentine's, but if I don't think Valentine's, it's just gonna sell in Valentine's, and that's my excuse with Brendan.
All right, that was that was a completely valid excuse.
Am I the only asshole in this world, or have other people struggled with this enunciation of your name?
I mean, it's like still to this day, if I am online or Twitter or whatever, and people are butchering my name, like they have it as a reference, like go to whatever, Google me, go to the Bachelorette Instagram for reference or whatever, and people are still like Brandon, all sorts of different spellings, and I still blame my mom. She was gonna name me like Andre or something cool, and then name me Brendan.
You kind of look like an Andre, and not Andre.
You could totally pull off Andre.
You could totally. Is that why? Now I gotta ask, the turtleneck you are sporting. First of all, you look beautiful. You wear it so well.
Oh, thank you.
Is this? Did you do this for us? Are you leaning into the turtleneck? Which, by the way, if you are, great. Or are you just truly? Do you have a Superman closet full of turtlenecks?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's literally nothing I did. What you guys saw in Palm Springs that I tried to lean into in any way or be different than who I am on a normal day-to-day basis. I have dozens of turtlenecks, and one of my biggest regrets to this day is not bringing more to Palm Springs. I'm like, I'll bring like 4 or 5.
Dude, it was like 120 degrees there. How are you never sweating? Do you have like a little air conditioning pack like inside that you wore? Like how did you control your body? Do you have any notes for us on how you control your body temperature so well?
I mean, you just got to stay cool and calm and collected. No, I mean, I was sweating for sure, but I run definitely a little colder. So I was able to, like, while the guys were dripping sweat, with a regular tee on, and of course I sweat too, I was able to stay, relatively comfortable with the turtleneck on. And at the end of the day, I just prioritized wearing turtlenecks over my comfort. So that was something I had to make the decision of doing. And no, but back home, like I wear turtlenecks, go to church, if I go out and go to Boston or whatever. And so it's kind of a regular occurrence for me to rock a turtleneck.
How long have you been wearing turtlenecks? Like they definitely they got back in vogue. Like on my season of The Bachelor, there's a couple memes out there of me wearing a turtleneck, and I've told this story before, but Carrie, the stylist for The Bachelor, was insistent. He's like, they're coming back now. How long? Like, have you, or has this been your whole life, or is this the past couple years that you're like, you know what, it's coming back. I'm gonna get ahead of this trend, and I'm going to be a trendsetter.
Great turtleneck debate.
So I have pictures when I was like 3 or 4 with turtlenecks on. And I think that's where the love for turtlenecks came about. And I got to credit my mom. I kind of still mad at her for my name, but I got to credit her for the turtlenecks. And I took a break from turtlenecks from maybe like 7 or 8 to 24, 25. But over the past, I would say over the past like 5 or 6 years, I've been rocking turtlenecks. And since I did live in LA for almost 4 years, but been back in Massachusetts. Yeah, I lived right in North Hollywood. But since I've been back for the past couple of years, I've been rocking the turtlenecks just about every other day, because it's freezing for 6 months and I got to cover my neck up, make sure my neck's
This
warm.
is my most favorite conversation we've ever had with a bachelor guest ever.
You guys, like, we got what we need. All right.
Yeah, before COVID.
The answer
I mean,
to
I know,
turtleneck.
I think you recently interviewed with Rachel, so I don't know if you got into the great turtleneck debate with her. We try to deliver some new content on the Viall Files, but do you find the turtleneck to be a conversation starter with women at the bar? Because I got to assume there's not a lot of guys in the bar wearing a turtleneck, and when people, you just want to give people an in. Like, oh God, he's so handsome, he's intimidating. How do I approach this guy? You know what? I'm going to ask him about the turtleneck. Do you find that to be the case, or is it too intimidating?
You know what? Unfortunately, I think more guys approach me more if I'm at a bar or whatnot and be like, dude, nice turtleneck, bro. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, go check out like Zara or Top Man or reasonably priced turtleneck.
H&M, man.
So, yeah, H&M will do it. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, girls I definitely see that they acknowledge the turtleneck and they give me the head nod, like, nice turtleneck, but they're not always approaching me to try to inquire about what.
The hard-hitting questions that we handle on the Viall Files. Seriously, my favorite conversation.
Now, I see that you're wearing a lighter, this is more a lighter, a linen turtleneck. Do you ever go sweater turtleneck? Or is that too hot?
No, I do, and that was my plan for the holidays, for Christmas or Christmas Eve, to go with like a heavier, bulkier turtleneck, and I do have a few of those. So I like the sleek look for sure, but for Christmas, when I'm with my family, I'm definitely gonna go with the bulkier. I think a white turtleneck.
I also think like
festive.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 100% chance. Have you ever been to an ugly Christmas sweater party?
I have.
Have you worn? Did you wear a turtleneck with a ugly sweater vest over the turtleneck? Right. I feel like that's the look.
No, that's a great idea. Next party I go to, ugly Christmas sweater party, I'm gonna consider that. But I literally every time I go to, which has been like 3 times in my life, I've gone to an ugly Christmas sweater party. But I want to wear like, something more fashionable, but then I'm like, okay, I have to wear, some silly Christmas sweater. But that's a great idea. I'm gonna think of that next party.
Okay, well, do that and then tag me in the photo, and give me some credit. Going back to, if you will indulge us a little bit, your time on the show. Did you how much, because the show, and they obviously are going to lean in to, our fears and insecurities at times. Mm-hmm. Did you ever, were you struggling the whole time with this engagement? Because as you mentioned, you kind of came in very green to the show. Some people have been fans of the show and they've watched it, even guys. Myself, when I went on, I hadn't watched the show, but I burned through like 2 seasons that I bought just to figure it out and understand it. Mm-hmm. At what point did it become evident to you that oh shit, okay, an engagement's on the line? And then when you realized that obviously you and Tayshia had some sort of connection, at what point were you starting to struggle with it? And was there ever a point that you thought, maybe I could do this, or was it a challenge the whole time?
Yeah. So I think truthfully, with my first couple of days on the show, with Claire there, and obviously not establishing any connection whatsoever, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, first and foremost, she doesn't like me whatsoever. I don't think I could do this. I was doing all these sorts of crazy dates, and I was like, all right, this is what this is going to be. But then Tayshia came, and like I've said a million times, she is 1,000% more my speed, my type. And the first night I spoke with her, I was like, okay, this could be something. She's beautiful. She's amazing, gentle, sweet. Like her personality matches up perfectly with mine. So as the days went on and I got that first one-on-one date, I was like, holy crap, I could actually do this. This could be something. Like I left that date glowing. Like this is the last thing I expected from this experience, to really this quickly have feelings for the Bachelorette. Truthfully, like I'm like going into this, I'm going to see if I can establish feelings, see if they can grow to a strong enough level where I can propose. And I don't know if I can do that. And after the one-on-one date, I was like, wow, this could actually be something. But then I had the privilege of having the first one-on-one date. And then she obviously was going on dates with other guys and establishing connections with other guys. So that was obviously strange for me. I knew what the concept of the show was, of course, but that was strange for me. Obviously something I never dealt with, the girl I like, talking to, dating, kissing other guys. So as the days went on after my one-on-one date, I'm like, okay, I still have doubts. I'm still unsure. But the overriding theme was from all the guys and even the producers is one day on the show is like a week, a month in real time. And it's so concentrated and you have to move so fast. So what I was so hopeful about was that tomorrow would do what it needed to do to make my feelings strong enough and at the level it needed to be to propose. And I really was just looking for the hometowns and fantasy suite and obviously certain dates or whatever as those moments to bring me to that next level. And of course, it never happened, unfortunately.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that it didn't happen, but I guess the follow-up question of that is, even though I know you mentioned that, in the real world, maybe you would have had more time, do you have any regrets in terms of how things played out, despite maybe thinking, hey, this is how you met Tayshia, this is what life dealt the two of you, and you kind of accept that and will learn from it, or do you find that maybe, oh shit, man, like, what if I took a leap of faith, and let's say decided to get engaged, and who knows, Zach and Tayshia seem very happy, and you were only one part of this equation, so Tayshia, let's assume, would have ended up picking Zach anyways, right? But let's just play a different game where you're the one. Do you think, looking back, you could have taken that leap of faith, and even if it didn't work out, have no regrets about the situation? Or where do you kind of feel about it now with the benefit of hindsight?
Yeah, with the benefit of hindsight, I definitely ask myself what if all the time. And even my family, talking to my family, they're like, Tayshia had every quality that you can imagine that you would be looking for in a wife. And physically she's obviously beautiful, and we definitely had that emotional, physical connection that I certainly felt in the moment and seemed to be undeniable watching it back. So yeah, I have certain regrets as far as if I opened up a little bit more and I allowed it to that beautiful love story to kind of come to fruition, where no question about it, I self-sabotaged the situation, and coming off of I've been divorced for 3 years now or so, and it was a really, really hard time for me, and was definitely a lot of moments where I'm like, am I ever gonna get married again? Am I ever gonna fall in love again and give someone my heart? But what makes me feel a little bit better about the situation is I feel like what was meant to happen happened. Watching back Zach and Tayshia, and what I would never have wanted to go into an engagement with any doubt whatsoever. Never mind some of the glaring doubt and concern that I had going into, the fantasy suite portion of the whole journey, and just knowing how in love Zach was with Tayshia, and seemed to the mutual love they had for each other. Say she would have chosen Zach anyway, but if I, ended that whole journey where it was me and Tayshia, and knowing that I had even this 1% of doubt about the whole thing, I probably couldn't live with myself knowing that she may have missed out on the opportunity of falling madly in love with this guy who completely loves her in every way. So for that, I'm grateful in how it played out, and I feel like it was meant to be.
I'd be remiss, and I feel like my audience would want to know, and we wish Tayshia and Zach nothing but the best, and we're going to assume that they will be one of the success stories of Bachelor Nation. However, would you ever consider reconnecting with Tayshia a year from now if you both found yourself to be single in the real world? Would you, or let's say Tayshia reached out to you, would you entertain a date with Tayshia?
Oh yeah, I absolutely would, 100%. And I know this isn't like great to say as a former Bachelorette contestant, but that whole the whole environment of it, and I completely am going to be honest and open. Like, I was just uncomfortable, the majority of the time, where all the other guys seemed to be like, all in it at every moment. They were like, and I'm like, okay, this is awkward for me. This is uncomfortable. This is not how. And a lot of the guys were either really good at adapting or really good at faking that a lot of this was.
Did you feel like you were almost
normal,
like taking?
Natural.
Yeah. Did you almost feel like you were taking crazy pills, where it's just like, why am I the only one who thinks this is kind of fucked up, guys? Like where everyone else is like, this is awesome, totally normal. Like,
Right.
what did you ever have that thought?
I did. I mean, and I'll be the first one to say this was such an amazing experience, and I would do it over and over again, regardless of the outcome. And the guys I met, and obviously meeting Tayshia and having that time with her was amazing. But I'm like, am I missing something here? This is like super uncomfortable. And I know my personality, I'm a little more reserved and a little more, to myself and expressing yourself and going on these dates and all that stuff on national TV, of course, is something I've never done before, and it was unique. But I'm like, okay, these guys are really like pros at adapting to this crazy new world, because it's taken me a little bit more time than it seems like some of these other guys.
Who were some of the guys that you, just from your perspective, just your opinion, thought might be faking it or indulging a little bit more than you believed? Who did you not buy?
Oh man, I probably shouldn't say any names, but
it's
I guess
fine.
I'll do it because
Yeah.
I mean, and again, all these guys are great guys. I'll preface that by saying they're solid dudes. But I think right off the bat, great guy, chasing my man, but he had no intentions of like falling in love, and he was there to have a great time, have a once in a lifetime experience, which a lot of us were as well. But I love Ed to death. Ed, not in a million years would he was the funniest guy in the world, but he would have never actually fallen in love with someone. Noah, great guy, great kid, funny kid, but and who else?
What about Bennett? What do you think? What do you think about Bennett? I'm honestly truly on the fence with Bennett. I haven't quite figured him out. I hope to have an opportunity to meet him and talk to him in person. Yeah. But did you find him to be? What did you find Bennett to be? What was your read on Bennett?
Yeah, I mean, Bennett and I honestly spoke 3 words together in the 2 months. We're a month and a half.
Really?
I was with him in Palm Springs, where it was like I was super close to the majority of the guys, and even like a guy like Riley who wasn't the most talkative. Like we were fairly close, but Bennett, a really solid guy, very, very smart, very intellectual, seemed to be very successful. We just had nothing to relate on as far as like to talk about a conversation starter. He was a good guy and he got along with a lot of the guys, but there were definitely the way he was portrayed on TV. There were definitely aspects of that were very true, where he, he had moments where he would get in tiffs with some of the producers or some of the guys, and it was, and certain times, like one of even moments where I would be talking and maybe I wasn't as eloquent as he was, or had this amazing life altering thing to say to the group, but I don't know what it was. I've never like confronted him about it, but I'd be talking and I'd see him out of the corner of my eye, like smiling, laughing, looking at someone else. And I'm like, dude, I'm talking. Like, and he would do that to a lot of the other guys. Really? I don't know if he was just had something in his head or he was making fun of us. I don't know, but he definitely thought very, very highly of himself, as he should. He's a handsome, successful, 6'3" former football player. Like, he should be confident, but he probably could have, sprinkled a little humbleness in there as well. Yeah, humility in there as well. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting to hear. Thank you for sharing your honest take on the guys.
I was gonna beat my ass next time I see him.
Also, thank you for saying that about Chasen.
Okay. Yeah, no, he was a good guy, but he was there.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me about Chasen. I just didn't get what seemed to be people losing their mind over, whatever it was, he smoke show, or, just seemed like just like a bizarre fight or a weird thing for Ed to care so much about.
Yeah. I think Ed, no one else cared in the slightest. Like, truthfully, no one else cared at all. We're more focused on Tayshia, but I think Ed knew, Ed kind of knew what he had to do, and to kind of stay on the show a little bit longer, and he took it full advantage of that.
Yeah, it's something to be said about knowing your role.
Right.
Ed seemed to know his. How did you end up on the show? I don't know if you've answered this already, but I'm curious.
Yeah, it was basically reached out to by producers from the show, and it all happened so fast. They reached out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, this sounds cool, this sounds fun. And then they're like, all right, you have this interview and this meeting, you have to do this test within a couple weeks. And I was just like, okay, did all that, and then got a call within a month that I was going to be on the show. Like, you're going to be in Palm Springs in 10 days or something. So it was craziness, a whirlwind of, like, I told my family like 3 days before I left, because I didn't know if it was actually going to happen or whatever. So and then I popped up in Palm Springs, having not the slightest idea what I was about to get myself into. But.
So are you still a roofer? Do you still, like, I was so taken. I was a fan of, like, when it was such a weird season with Claire being the Bachelorette, that we just didn't get to know any of you guys while Dale was there, because it was just a Claire and Dale show that, other than night one where you guys came out of the limo, but like, even reading your bios, I was always like, you and Ivan were two guys that, like, I was drawn to immediately, just because, Ivan, the chess intro, and he's this aeronautical, I can't even pronounce it, engineer, and then here you are, the roofer. But like, you wear turtlenecks, and maybe I also like it. Just I'm drawn to other handsome men with curly hair, but you seem as if this gentle, soft, caring, nurturing soul, and a roofer is one of the hardest jobs in the world to do. And I'm just, could you give us a little backstory? Is that something you still do? It sounds like you came out to LA, you've done some modeling and stuff in entertainment. Like, what do you do now? What did you give us some little background on yourself?
Yeah. So, my dad came here. I'll give you if we got time, we got a little time.
We got time, buddy.
My dad came here from Portugal when he was 17 or 18, and and went to high school, all that good stuff. Graduated, met my mom, started painting, and then I've been painting with him, and then with one of my other uncles and my brother. Me and my brother have been painting for 20 plus years now, and then slowly transitioned into roofing. So it's with one of my other uncles. And in Massachusetts, where I'm at, like, you're either working in Boston, a corporate job, or you're doing some type of labor job. So I do have to say, it is not shingle roofing where you're up on the side of roof, like hammering in shingles. We do just fix leaks on like big commercial buildings. So it's not the most tedious thing in the world. But it is hard work. We're out there in the summer, in the winter, freezing 20 degrees in the winter that I've been experiencing lately. But it's actually something I really enjoy. I work with my brother and my cousin and my uncle, and we not the most riveting conversation in the world, but yeah, we go in and fix leaks in like town halls, schools, a classroom that water will be pouring in from rain from the roof, and we come to save the day. So I like to think I'm allowing children to learn, essentially.
There you go. So fucking sweet.
You're like, dude, you're forcing it. No, you don't.
No, it's great. No, the people.
Justin would have melted with that.
Yeah,
melted.
Brendan, people, we want to know you. There's more to you than just the guy who got divorced and is scared to not make it work out. What do you paint? I paint a little bit myself. I don't know if you've ever seen Bob Ross, but I've been known to do a Bob Ross painting now and then.
Okay.
Are you painting houses?
I grew up with Bob Ross. I am. I guess I should have clearly said I'm not painting artistically. It's painting houses and paint. I know. I'm sorry.
It's still great. Great. I was like, maybe we can paint together. Yeah.
I mean, I'll if you can like draw it, I'll fill in the.
Okay.
I'm good. I have a steady hand. I guess that's.
There you go. But, yeah, you do.
But I guess my artistic expression, I guess, is I do I definitely model a decent amount in Boston and New York, and did that in LA for a little while. So it works out really well for me. I work with my family, so whenever I have a modeling job, I can go do that in Boston, or even drive to New York or fly wherever. And I have a lot of friends who like to make cool videos and are have their own form of artistic expression that we can all collaborate and do cool things. And it's fun. It's a good balance for me, working on the roof, being with my family, and doing my form of art as well, I guess. So.
Awesome. So as someone who you mentioned Self-Sabotage, you've been divorced. Like, where do you stand now on the topic? Everyone talks about this experience being really therapeutic. It's reflective. And then you get this bizarre opportunity to watch yourself back, right? So like first you live the therapeutic ride, and then you watch the therapeutic ride. Do you think the show has maybe freed you up from that burden of fear of taking a risk in the future? Because, as someone who, I haven't been married and divorced, but I was engaged long before everyone on the show. And then, if you watch the show, you certainly know my history on the show. And as someone who grew up in a very traditional household and saw my parents being in love, their whole lives, and having this rock solid marriage and wanting to emulate that, and then feeling, especially when my first engagement didn't work out, the shame and disappointment of it not working out. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that burden's been lifted? Because like you just never know. Like whenever you fall in love next, you can't predict the future, and at some point you're going to have to take a risk, right?
Yeah.
Where do you land on that now?
Yeah, I think definitely the show was as much as it was an amazing experience and trying to fall in love with this beautiful woman. It was a time in my life where I had to self-reflect every single day and definitely discover things about myself, and a long 2-month therapy session, you could say. And in hindsight, looking back at that experience and where I am today, I think I'm definitely taking steps and hopefully leaps towards being closer to that, and being closer to having the ability to completely give my heart to someone. And it's still going to be scary, and it's still going to be challenging, and I'm certainly going to have to take that leap of faith regardless. And I know the first time around for me, proposing and getting married, I had no doubts at all. And I was like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. This is with the woman I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. And then it just didn't work out. So not all the time, like how you feel prior is always going to like solidify the longevity and how healthy the relationship is going to be. It just has to work out. Two people obviously have to do what they need to do every single day to invest in the relationship to make it work. So it's going to be a leap of faith for me without a doubt the next time around. But I definitely feel a little more free, and I feel like a burden is kind of taken off my back a little bit, just knowing that I've taken steps towards being a better person, being potentially a better husband, and in doing that, more so me being ready for that. So yeah, it's and I won't know until I'm in that situation. I won't know until I've met that person and I'm ready to get down on one knee. But without a doubt, I feel like I'm taking steps towards being the best version of myself, and certainly being able to give the best version of myself to another woman.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sharing, and not that you're asking, but I would just offer you the advice of, just go for it, man. Like, don't what they say, like, what won't kill you will make you stronger. It's not a reflection of you in any way if you take another leap of faith and don't get that one right either. So we can only control 100% of our halves. So I hope that you're able to continue on this journey and not put so much pressure on yourself when on this path of finding your person.
Thank you.
Speaking of finding your person, how have those DMs been doing? I feel like it's been a really positive week for you in terms of attention you've received. Is it as overwhelming as I imagine it would be for you?
Yeah. The DMs are definitely live and active right now, but I don't even know how to approach that. I've never been like a DM type of dude where like I'm gonna see what the deal is.
I would proceed online with caution. Yeah, I would not. Yeah.
Tell Justin to stop bothering you. It's fine.
Yeah. Other than Justin, you can reply to Justin when he DMs you.
No. And I guess what it's never been my method, my forte to I really need to like meet a woman and establish feelings and get to know her and whatever. And I'm not like, hey, I'm gonna DM you and let's hook up and then I've just never been that way. So yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start in responding to any of these girls, and most of them are like 10 plus years younger than me, and it just so I'm gonna kind of lay off the DMs for a while and just try to live my life and ignore that part of the whatever the outside things that happen along with doing this and being a part of this. So
I am supposed to let you know that Andrea Russett, do you know who Andrea Russett is?
I love Andrea Russett.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
She is a rather popular personality on YouTube, but also very talented musician who I personally think will be a super pop star soon. She's a fan. She would appreciate you saying hello, and if you ever are back in LA, maybe we can set up a get together. If you want her number, I'm happy to give it.
I love this journey. I love Andrea Russett. She's amazing.
She's asked me to set you up, and I said I could make that happen. I said you probably don't need my help, and then right before we started this conversation, I asked if it would be okay to say this on the show, and she said 100%. I will owe you for eternity if I make this happen. So
just
I don't know
eternity, okay.
I don't know what I need or want from Andrea, but I always like people owing me for the rest of their life. So if you could
She's
try to
so
make
great.
that work,
I'm
Brendan,
down, I'm down.
and she's a lovely, beautiful woman, and
Okay.
again quite talented. So
Okay.
hitch your wagon to that train because it's taken off.
No, yeah, I'm 100% down. So
Yay!
however we figure that out. Obviously, I you guys said amazing things about her, but gotta obviously see what she looks like first. But
I feel
Well,
like I've
she's a
worked with
treat.
her for forever. She's been around for so long. She's amazing.
yeah.
Before
I have a question.
yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
I want to know what his niece thought of like you not picking Tayshia, like you saying no.
Yeah, so it was such a crazy thing for my niece to, because she's obviously met my ex-wife and ex-girlfriend and whatever. And so she's meeting this other girl and I haven't brought many girls around whatsoever, but it was like she had that moment of hugging Tayshia and then had no idea what to expect and what it would bring. But when I came home, and they were like, all right, when I came home and kind of told them what happened, they're like, okay, yeah, you did what you thought was best. And then now, like at the end of this, they're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you? Like Tayshia is so amazing. She's so beautiful and perfect and whatever. But my niece, we haven't sat her down and like had that conversation about, like, did I screw up or not, Aaliyah? Like, tell me. But she was just so enthralled with like being on the show
TV.
and having that experience. But
That's
it reminded me like when I was on and my sister
with your
Bella,
sister.
definitely kind of remnants of that, and she carried the torch quite well of young, very dynamic personality. Potential future bachelorette. So I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, and she really is like so. She really like since she was a little girl, she wanted to be like some Disney star, or she can sing and she thinks she's a little actress too, and so she had her moment. And she was like all completely amazed by it. So.
That's awesome. Before we let you go, Brendan, I want to play this game called Do You Know Me? It's a fun game, real simple. It's an opportunity for our audience to get to know a little bit more of you outside of the show. They are just kind of fun, random, silly questions. Chrissy and I are going to guess the answer. So when I ask you, does Brendan has he ever done this? Has he ever done that? Think about it. Don't answer it right away. Let us guess.
Okay.
And then if you have an anecdotal story that goes with any of these answers, feel free to share and elaborate and tell us a story about yourself or not. It's up to you. If it's a simple yes or no, that's totally fine as well. They're all over the board. Some of them are a little risque and some of them are super easy. We'll start off with a softball. Do you know me? With Brendan.
Safe ways of saying it. Good.
And honestly, I'm on my head about it. Like I'm never gonna be 100% confident I'm saying it right.
Just call me B. Just call me B.
B? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. God, kind of weight off my shoulders. Question number 1. Does Brendan currently have lip balm with him? Does Brendan currently have lip balm? I'm going to say yes. It's winter. It's dry in the northeast. This is a man who wears turtlenecks. He's not going to neglect those lips.
Like in his pocket?
Moist. On his person. I don't, he's interviewing, like, let's just say, do you regularly carry lip balm of some sort around with you during winter time in a coat, in a pocket, whatever?
I'm gonna go. He just got up
yes.
and walked away, so I'm gonna say yes. He had it. He did. He had it right there.
I have two on my person at all times. No.
I would have been shocked if the answer was no.
I have chapstick with me and applying it all the time throughout the day, in the middle of the night, 24/7. So.
All right. Question number 2, another softball before we get into the hard-hitting questions. Okay. Does Brendan prefer white wine over red? I'm going to say no. He's a red. Anyone who has a turtleneck drinks red wine.
I'm going to agree with you.
Over white.
So can I say neither? Is that allowed?
We want to know you, Brendan.
Yeah. I'm not a big wine guy. I'm not a big beer guy.
What's your drink of choice, if any?
If I am drinking, I'll definitely go with tequila or gin. I try to keep it classy and I'm not Bennett with the martinis, but I try to keep it classy with those two.
Speaking of classy, question number 3. Has Brendan used a condom in the past month?
I love that it made him giggle and so nervous.
I'm going to say no, but I want it to be yes. And also, we are very safe sex positive, and so I mean when I say classy, condoms are classy.
Without a doubt.
I'm going to say no as well.
I have not used
God.
in the past month, but still trying to keep it classy regardless.
Question number 4. We're staying hot. We're staying in the bedroom. Has Brendan ever used a sex toy on himself or with someone else?
Oh my God. What if his niece listens to this?
No, she's not going to listen to this.
Oh my God.
This is not rated 10-year-old.
I know. Wait, how old is Brandon again? How old is Brendan?
I just turned 31.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. At some point, he's used a sex toy.
I can neither confirm or deny. There may or may not have been one in and around the mix at some point.
We're a sex positive show here, Brendan. So we're just gonna go take that as a hard yes.
I certainly haven't used it on myself, but
well, you're missing out. I'm just kidding.
It may have floated into certain moments. I'm not sure. I can't.
As I like to say, and as you may know, as a roofer, sometimes it takes more than one tool to complete a task.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You need the right tool for the job, and that tool changes at certain points.
That's why we have 2 belts, right?
The hard-hitting questions here on
the good stuff.
Hard-hitting.
Next question. Has Brendan ever paid for a psychic reading? I'm going to change it and just say, have you ever received a psychic reading that wasn't on a reality TV show? I'm going to say yes. He lived in LA for a period of time. I think at some point you've had some sort of horoscope or psychic reading performed for you, and you are an introspective person, so you played along and indulged in said psychic reading.
I'm just going to say no. I don't think he has.
So 3 years ago, I would have, obviously this would have been a no for sure, but I've never paid for one, but friends I've met along the way, it wasn't, I don't know how to exactly describe what it was. I have never been to like a psychic shop and they've told me my future, but I've had friends that I've met over the past few years that have like pulled cards and read whatever or different symbols that meant this. And like, exactly like you said, Nick, I just played along and they're like, oh,
so I nailed it.
Like a tarot card.
One of my close friends is like, yeah, you're doing good. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Like reading all these cards. Oh, that's good. And I'm like, okay, so, but I appreciate whatever he saw, I guess, in my future.
Can Brendan name 5 types of flowers? And you can't say a rose.
Wait, what was the question again?
Can Brendan name 5 types of flowers?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Jesus. Sunflower, lilac, is that a flower?
Sure. Yeah.
Lily.
Okay.
I can't. I guess I just like
Daisy, tulip.
Daisy
tulips.
I'm not good with putting on the spot
Watercress.
type question. I don't
So
know.
no,
I guess I can't.
no, you cannot. All right. Has Brendan ever peed their pants? Ever? Yes.
Ever. Like even as a kid?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Oh,
ever.
then for sure.
Oh yeah, no question, without a doubt.
When was the last time you peed the old pants there, Brendan?
There's too many to count, and no, but when I was between like 8 and 9 years old, I definitely had a problem wetting my bed, and my poor mother every night just had a fresh pair of sheets on deck, ready to change them, because I just I couldn't control myself, couldn't hold it in at night.
You know what? I had
It
a
happens.
pee in the pants period of my time myself between the ages of, I'm gonna say, 4 and 5 years old.
Okay, I was a little old. I was a little older.
That's okay.
Let me retract.
I might have been 6. I might have been 6.
Okay.
I used to I was too lazy to go to the bathroom. I'd be up playing, and I'd just like, and then I'd like laugh, and then I'd pee my pants. And my sisters, I have a vivid memory of hiding behind the rabbit cage. We had a rabbit cage.
Okay.
Because my sisters told on me, and I was like, I thought maybe my dad wouldn't find me or somehow. I got caught. And,
Quite the overshares.
final question. And remember, Brendan, we are a sex positive show here. Has Brendan ever had sex on a first date? And I don't mean one night stand, which would count.
Okay.
Oh.
But it could be just a date that was set up and you had a lovely time, and
Not like a hookup from the bar?
that would count.
Okay.
But also it's not exclusive to a hookup at a bar. It could just be Brendan's a closer.
I'm the closer. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna say no? What? I mean,
That I've never a girl that I've gone on dates with, never been intimate on the first night. No.
okay.
Mm,
I think I believe you.
a gentle man. That
Gentle
Brendan.
man. Brendan, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. It's been a ton of fun. Sorry for butchering your name so many times, but I look forward to having the opportunity to meet you in person. Don't forget to reach out to Andrea Russett. That's Russett. Russett.
Andrea Russett. Okay.
Look her up on the gram.
Okay.
And I wish you nothing but the best. And I can't wait to find out what your love story is. If they ask you to Paradise, are you open to going?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I would definitely consider it, but I don't know if I could truly like build feelings for someone in such a short amount of time as the show requires. So it would be something I'd really have to consider. I'm not sure.
Or the answer is no, because you're going to be living your best life with Andrea Russett.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're not
Correct.
dating Andrea, if you aren't dating Andrea, Brendan, you should go. You should absolutely say yes. Don't get in your head. Just go. Have fun with your friends on the beach. Meet some great people, and you just never know. A lot less pressure on the beach. It's a great time, and I really think everyone who's given the opportunity should say yes. So that's my 2 cents on it. And you never know. Okay. You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
You can meet a great lady, and you can date. You don't even have to get engaged if you don't want to. Although I'm sure they would quite love that, and I'm sure Neil would be thrilled to set you up with ring. Oh, I do have. I have one question. I'm sorry if you can indulge me. So many people were just like, "Oh, what a cruel thing to have Neil Lane be on the date." And I personally thought to myself, "This is not a big deal. Brendan's a big guy." I mean, I personally thought that was kind of a gift to set you up in terms of to help explain your reservations that you had. I didn't feel like you were really having cold sweats because you're, or am I wrong about that? Did you find it to be a torturous date, or was it just more or less a metaphor for what you were about to do in terms of expressing your reluctance with Tayshia?
Yeah, it definitely was, watching it back, more of a metaphor of like, especially with Niels in the way he expressed the importance of this engagement ring and how much it means. And, this means forever and all that good stuff, the amazing, eloquent way he put it all. The date was fun. It was great spending time with Tayshia. It definitely made the moment, more serious for me, but it wasn't like I was the whole time like, oh my God, like, cold sweats, like miserable, scared, frightened. We had a fun day. It was just, in a sense, it allowed people to understand in the way it was edited and everything and cut that it was, it was no joke. It was an important, life altering decision that I was going to make. And that kind of allowed, that kind of gave it a little more importance, I guess, that date. So.
Gotcha. That's what I thought, but I'm glad you were able to confirm that, because I wouldn't want people thinking that you have cold sweats anytime you run into a jeweler. And I feel like you are. No. I think you can handle it. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks again, buddy. Everyone listening, go follow Brendan on Instagram. Check out his journey of life, and we wish you nothing but the best. And if it's not with Andrea, we certainly hope to see you on the beach. And have a very wonderful New Year, buddy. I hope it's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I appreciate it. And say hi to Justin for me.
I will. He
tell him to slide into my DMs.
He's there in the East Coast. Maybe you guys can connect.
I know.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive up.
I personally will be kind of pissed off and jealous if you guys become friends more than, because I quite frankly, like, I think Justin and I really hit it off podcast wise, and I don't know if Justin knows this, but like I'm really trying to be best friends with Justin, and like I feel like he likes me, and I think we're building on something, but I feel it's a bit one-sided on my end, so like I'll be really. Like, I'm definitely the pursuer here. Like, he's fine.
Okay. So you're the Justin to the you're the Justin to the Brendan in that relationship.
Yeah. So you know how sometimes friends like will be friends and then they'll introduce you to like and then all of a sudden those two people become better friends. I'll be really butthurt if that happens with you and Justin. But
I don't know. I feel like Justin and I, like, we didn't even say much to each other. We just connected our eyes.
But you had a connection.
That's what worries me. Yeah, that's what worries me. And here I am, the odd man out. I'll be really bummed. But well, have a very happy New Year. Thank you for being so gracious with your time, and we wish you nothing but the best. And take care, buddy.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Brendan.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you guys all for listening. We appreciate Brendan for his time. Don't forget to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Go ahead and check out Monday's episode of Ask Nick, where we give and hear a bunch of relationship stories and advice, and try to learn about love, life, and relationships all together on our Ask Nick episodes of the Viall Files. And if nothing else, I hope you guys have an absolute wonderful New Year. Let's finish 2020 strong and flush it down the toilet.
Watch Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Watch Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, because Chrissy has been truly bleeding and crying over producing that show, and we are proud of her. So be sure to check that out. And what a year, guys. What a year of the Viall Files. Can't thank you enough for supporting the show. And other than that, we will see you on Monday.